Okay, I'm really excited to share this with you. If you've had problems with rats in your engine, I think I've come up with a solution. Actually, a couple of solutions. I've looked everywhere on the internet for information, and I've come across sort of the traditional peppermint in the engine, and I've tried that, and it helps a little bit. But I think these things that I've found are much more effective. This little gizmo here is a sound alarm, 120 decibels. So I'll show you how I've used this very effectively. And this is my second gizmo. It's a laser light that is actually a Christmas decoration, but it's worked effectively in keeping rats out of the engine bay in my car. You'll be surprised at how effective these gizmos will be in helping to get rid of rats and keep them from destroying your engine. Here's number one, which is this high decibel alarm, and number two, this Christmas decoration that sets out laser beam. I have the camera under my camper van, and I was dismayed to see this rat. And then watch carefully. He actually leaps up into the engine bay. So these cats are around, but the rat got into my engine bay. I couldn't believe it. This is the ultimate. So I've put this together. Now when we travel a lot, I give cruise ship lectures. And so, for example, we were in Australia last winter for about 3 months. And when we're traveling, I'm always concerned that there might be rats getting into the engine on my camper van. So I've come up with this solution. I set up my camera in the engine bay to monitor any activity, such as this rat. The secret to this strategy is this alarm, 129 decibels. And 3 months later, after our trip, well, I've been away from our house and the van for the last 3 months. Okay, so this is the moment of truth where I can lift up the hood and see how things are after 3 months away. It looks good. I don't see any sign of rats in here. So what I had was the camera mounted here, and then I had this gizmo here that would make noise. Okay, this thing is pretty damn amazing because listen to the racket that it makes. And it's about 120 decibels. So I would recommend this. The great thing is that it does come with a little USB attachment, so you can see it also works off of solar. There's a solar panel built in, but when I use it inside the engine bay, I plug it into this USB. It also lasts for quite a while on the battery, but if you're going to go away for a few months, definitely use the USB that you can plug it in and keep it charged. So it's called the solar alarm lamp. There's various designs, but this one has worked for me. Imagine if you came into my engine bay and then that thing was triggered by the movement. I think it would scare the rat shitless. At least hopefully it would get him out of there. Okay, this is my next approach for keeping rats out of my vehicle engine. So here's my car. It was parked here for 3 months while we were away for the winter, and I came up with this idea. We had these Christmas lights, and this is, if you look carefully, you'll see this is a laser. And I had this inside my engine bay the time we were away, and just right here in the corner. But the thing is, at night, this is sending laser beams throughout this engine bay, and it seems to have done the trick. I don't really have any problems with rodents in my engine during that period we were away. The other thing I do is I have a little vial here that I put peppermint drops into, and there's a bit of foam in there, and I just buy this from the grocery store, the extract of peppermint, and that's supposed to keep rodents out. So I think that loses its efficacy, but this laser system, I think it actually did the trick. I actually had a dead mouse in here before I put the laser in. I'm convinced that this approach has worked while we were away for 3 months. What I've used in the past is this blink camera, and I've put it on a block of wood just so that I can place it wherever I want. And the great thing about these is that the battery lasts for over a year, and I can put it out in the backyard in the car, and it still sends and receives the signal with my receiver here in the house, and that's over a couple 100 feet. So I really think these things work well. And I've used one of these in my engine bay last winter, but I like this system so much that I'm going to be using a mini one as well that I can put in the engine bay. And it uses the same system. This one you have to plug into a USB, but that's no problem because I have power out to the engine, out to the car. So I've got a couple more. I bought 2 of these on sale, and these Blink Minis I think are going to help do the trick. One of the great things about the Blink camera system is that you don't need to have a subscription. You can just record onto your thumb drive on the receiver end, and you don't have to pay anything monthly. It'll email you as soon as the camera registers movement. So say there's a rat in your engine bay, this thing will send you an email, and then you can actually talk to the rat because it has a way to transmit your voice. There's a little speaker built into this thing. So I think that's pretty awesome. Talk to your rat.